What's up, guys? I am Terri Schwartz, and I'm here with Scott Kalura, where we just got the first look at Free Guy, the new Shawn Levy directed Ryan Reynolds comedy set in the world of a video game, where the premise is that Ryan is an NPC who slowly realizes he's a non-playable character in a video game. Now, you got the first look at the movie, a couple of different scenes, and a teaser trailer that's not going to be released until farther down the line. So tell us a little bit about what this movie is and what you thought.
It looks really funny right now, doesn't it? The trailer, I think, does a great job of setting it all up. We see Ryan Reynolds' character, Guy is his name. I think it's more like he's a guy rather than his name is Guy. He's kind of just like going about his business. He's a bank teller, but like as he gets ready for work, you see like people like, you know, jumping out of buildings and machine gun fire and explosions and motorcycles driving down the sidewalk. There's just crazy video game action going on all around him. But because he's a non-playable character, he just kind of keeps living his life. But he winds up in the bank. He winds up, I guess, accidentally putting on a pair of glasses which allow him to see they live style, like what's really going on around him. And he suddenly becomes a player in the game himself. And he realizes there's more to life than just his game. And he shoots a guy who's robbing the bank, and then he's like, he's just resting. Meanwhile, the guy has a hole in him like this big. So it's really funny, and it seems like a perfect project for Ryan Reynolds. It's kind of got a dry wit to it, from what I can tell, and it's like he's almost breaking the fourth wall with a lot of the jokes, at least in what we saw. Not quite Deadpool level, but it feels like it could be a lot of fun.
Well, it's interesting because I feel like Ryan as Guy is like innocent, right? Like they make a joke in one of the scenes that he's like 4. He's not a full-grown adult. But then there's also this element of like this real-world aspect where Jodie Comer from Killing Eve is in this movie. Joe Keery from Stranger Things, who's Steve Harrington, is in this movie, and Taika Waititi is the villain in this movie, who is like the egotistical game developer who's kind of like taken advantage of Joe and Jodie's character in the past, and like maybe stolen some stuff that they've worked on for the movie. So there's this weird balance between like the real world element, which we get a tease of in the trailer, but then they really focused on playing up like the comedy of him being a character in this world. And I thought they had some like nice little touches with one of the scenes we saw is Jodie, her character in the game is called Molotov Girl, and she has like an accent filter. She's like really dynamic and confident. Looks, I don't know, like almost like Indiana Jonesy.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And they're in her stash house, and she does this thing where she's like, she has her gun, and when she puts it in like her backpack, it disappears. And they said, Shawn said that they're like, I think 6 weeks into editing or something like that, so it's still early days.
It looked pretty good already, though, I thought, But yeah, like they're just loaded. It's like when you play a game, like where do you keep all those weapons, right? Like, but they just kind of are disappearing, and her like loot area, whatever it's called, it's like this like white cave. It's like really stylized. Then in the real world, she's playing one of the designers of the code, I guess, which is causing Ryan Reynolds' character to become sentient. And she's very different. She's like a regular kind of American gal, and they realize that Taika has probably stolen their code or done something weird with it. So I'm curious to see. I didn't get a sense that how much we're going to see Ryan Reynolds' character in the real world, if at all.
We do. Yeah.
Because I don't know how that would work, but they do say at one point that he's technically alive now. Like something about their code is like given him sentience, and he's alive.
He was like the first sentient AI, I think.
Yeah. So it looks fun, and it's nice to see Jodie, who's from Killing Eve, where she plays such a scary, like enchanting, like badass.
Like she's so good in that.
And so she's still like doing a badass thing here when she's Molotov Girl, but she's like funny. It's a different spin on that. She still is scary, but you kind of want to hang out with her too.
Well, I think there's always the question for a video game movie. Like, well, they were keen to say this isn't a video game movie. It's a broad action comedy that, kind of like Stranger Things is set against the backdrop of the 80s. This is set against the backdrop of a video game. But I'm curious, like, how did you think those touches of, video game elements, and they talked about cameos, like Ninja and stuff is in it.
Yeah.
IGN actually has a cameo in the movie as well. as an interviewer
Terri is in the movie.
So strange, so surreal. So like they have these elements. So I'm curious, for you, having seen this for the first time, like what did you think about the way that they incorporated this?
It felt, yeah, I mean, it felt real for sure. Like it felt like it could be an actual game you would be playing. When he puts the glasses on and you see like his like onboard display kind of everything and like his health and his weapons load and all that stuff, it felt totally like that this could be a game that I'd be playing.
But like tongue in cheek, I feel like a little bit too about like being self-aware of how it was portrayed.
Well, yeah, because then it'll cut to him like on the street when he puts the glasses on and there's like a health bucket like right next to him. Like we can see like in a game it's usually just this little thing that you walk up to, but here he's like he grabs it and then he's completely refreshed and he's like, oh, is this what designer drugs feel like? So it feels like it could be real, but at the same time, yeah, it's fun.
Well, actually, so, I mean, obviously we just got a tease of this movie here, but one thing that Shawn Levy said that I thought was interesting is like, we as the audience will understand what's happening, but for Guy, he at first, when he gets these glasses, just thinks they're magic glasses
Right.
in the world that people are playing, and like, it's a slow realization of who he is. So I'm curious to see how like that comedy plays out, where obviously the audience will be in on the joke, we'll have the perspective of the real world as well, but like, you see this person slowly realize they're literally a background character.
Right, yeah. And what is that? I mean, you can go different ways with it. I mean, it could turn out to be tragic, right? Hopefully they don't do that. Hopefully it's a happy ending for him. But we'll have to wait and see. I don't know. We don't know how that's going to play out yet.
So we'll see. The trailer is not releasing out of New York Comic Con. This was very much a first look, they emphasized, but the trailer should be coming out, I mean, hopefully by end of year.
Yeah.
But until then, Free Guy is coming out on July 3rd, 2020. We'll have plenty more coverage here on IGN. Keep it locked for all things New York Comic Con.